Well, hello! Do you have an LK150 knitting machine or the brother equivalent, the KX350? Those are such fun machines. They're so easy to use and you can do so much with them. Let's today talk about 5 things that you can do to ensure success with your machine. Hi, I'm Sue, the voice and the hands behind the Knit It Now videos. And for over 10 years, we've been helping knitters just like you have success and learn to master their machine, no matter what machine it is that you own. So let's get started with the 5 tips. Tip number 1, learn your machine. It's a very simple machine. There are only 4 little levers here. But it's really important that you understand what those 4 little levers do. They control stitch patterning, and they will control what happens when you pass that carriage across with yarn in it. Now, if you don't have the manual for your machine, get it. Take it step by step and follow the instructions. It'll go a long ways towards your understanding of your machine. Tip number 2, keep it simple. Don't expect to make the garment of your dreams overnight. You didn't learn how to cook coming right out making a 5-course gourmet meal. It takes practice. Keeping it simple. Knit for charity. Make some hats. Make some blankets. Get used to what the possibilities are with your machine and practice your skills. Even though we can knit quickly with a knitting machine, please don't plan to wear your sweater tomorrow that you started today. Someday you may be to the point where you can knit a sweater in a day. But in the meantime, take some baby steps and be kind to yourself. Keep it simple. Before I forget, I want to remind you that if you want more information about machine knitting in general and tutorials about your LK150, subscribe below, use the little button below, and click on the little bell. That will notify you whenever we post a new video. We post videos every Thursday, and we'll share tips and tricks and whatever we can to help you be a better machine knitter. Tip number 3, build your confidence. Start out with plain stockinette and just one color of yarn, and then add stripes, then add stitch patterning. Again, keeping your projects simple, plain old rectangles, very simple shaped sweaters, but just build slowly on your confidence and build your skills. Don't want you getting discouraged and frustrated because you bit off more than you can chew. Take baby steps. You'll be glad you did. Tip number 4, swatching. You must learn how to knit a proper swatch, learn how to measure it, and apply your measurements to establish your gauge. Without knowing your gauge, how do you know what size your garment's going to end up? Even if you're knitting a blanket, if you don't know what your gauge is, you have no idea how big that blanket's going to be. You also don't know how much yarn you're going to need. You also don't know what that yarn is going to do once you throw it in the washing machine. Swatching is critical. I always say swatching is not optional. To have success with any knitting machine, you must swatch. It's not a waste of yarn. And for heaven's sakes, we're machine knitters. What does it take? 5 minutes to knit a swatch? Swatching's not optional. And the 5th tip is yarn. Choose a yarn that's appropriate for your machine. The LK150 takes a wide variety of yarns, anything from sock yarn on up to a light worsted weight yarn. You can knit fuzzy yarns, you can knit smooth yarns, you can use natural fibers, you can use man-made fibers or blends. But in order to have success, especially when you're first starting out, I'd like you to pick a yarn that you like. Find something that's readily available. Find something that's in your price range. Find something that has a wide range of colors and use it again and again and again. So as you're building your confidence, that's one variable you'll take out of the equation. You'll use that same yarn, you know what it does in stockinette. When you start adding stitch patterning to it, you'll have a good idea of how that yarn is going to turn out. You'll have a good idea of what tension to use. Again, as you're building your skills, don't be using sock yarn one time and a worsted weight the next time. It just adds to the confusion. So pick a yarn and use it over and over again. As you build your confidence, you can start switching out and trying some different things. But again, keep it simple and take baby steps. Now, if you'd like to learn more about your LK150, and maybe you're not a newbie and you'd like to try some multicolor work or Fair Isle work, stranded knitting, we have a free module for you to take a look at. You can go to knititnow.com/LK150 free. This module is part of our course bundle that takes you from threading up your machine all the way through to using stitch patterning. The entire course will help you along your journey to master that LK150. The course has not only videos, because we don't want you to just sit and watch videos, it has practice exercises and examples, lots of things for you to get your hands on your machine and master that machine. Learn what these buttons, all these levers mean. Practice it over and over until you've mastered the skills you need to make whatever you want with your knitting machine. So please come and take a look at the Mastering Your LK150 bundle. The freebie is at knititnow.com/LK150 free. And you're going to be the master of your LK150 before you know it. Happy knitting!